film called?
Godzilla, the epitome of kaiju films, celebrating its 60th anniversary this year, which also means celebrating 60 years of just running through cities. This is why we can't have nice things. This newest installment goes back to its roots where the story is really a human story, where Godzilla is the catalyst that brings a family together as they are trying to get back together after all of these disasters, treating Godzilla more as a disaster, a natural disaster, than anything else. Fun fact! They originally made the Godzilla suit because they were too poor to do claymation. The main actor is, of course, Godzilla, which his last film was in 2004, and in this 10-year hiatus, he must have taken some acting classes because he has become really good. Different from his wooden, stiff acting that he's done in the past, he was much more fluid and realistic and very impressive, almost made me cry a few times. And he's definitely going against the Hollywood trend of being super skinny because he has put on some pounds in this movie. The other big actor here is Bryan Cranston, best known for his work in Breaking Bad and Walker, Texas Ranger. Who would have known that the father from Malcolm in the Middle would be such a great actor? He immediately invests you in the human element of this story because of his great acting. He's not in the movie for very long, but he makes a very strong impression and pulls you in better than any of the other actors could have. The other actors we have in this movie aren't the biggest names in the world. We have Aaron Taylor Johnson, who plays Bryan Cranston's son. He's best known for portraying Kick-Ass in the Kick-Ass franchise. And he adds a subtlety to his character that we really appreciated in this very crazy film. He will also be playing Quicksilver in the new Avengers movie. His wife is played by Elizabeth Olsen. Thank you, Olsen twins, for years of crappy movies, just so that you can open the door to the real talent in your family, your little sister. She plays Johnson's wife and adds a very motherly, sincere character here. She will also be playing the Scarlet Witch in the new Avengers movie. The Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are actually brother and sister, and in this movie, they were husband and wife. Obligatory Game of Thrones reference here. There seems to be a lot of criticism of Johnson's acting in this movie, and if you're not invested in the characters, he may seem wooden or stiff, but if you consider his background and what's happening to him in this film, it makes a lot of sense that he would be more stoic. There are moments when he does break down and he does show emotion, and we really appreciated those scenes. And it shows us that it was not because of his ability to act, but more of the choice of the director. Speaking of directors, this is Gareth Edwards' biggest film that he's done so far. He's done a few smaller ones, but this is his first big Hollywood film, and we really liked it. And we're excited to see what he's going to be doing next and what sequels may come from this movie. I've never heard such a disappointed audience before. We waited till the very end of the credits, and there was absolutely nothing. The best part of the writing is that there's an environmental undercurrent here, but they didn't feel the need to bash you over the head with it like so many other environmental-friendly movies. Some of the scenes in here were so beautifully constructed visually that they laid a poetic undertone to the story being weaved. But now for the best part of the movie. Godzilla. He was huge! He was awesome! It was like watching him for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you a story. When I was 8, I watched The Return of Godzilla, a 1985 film. And it devastated me because at the end of that film, spoiler alert, they kill him, and I cried. I have never cried so hard in my life. I haven't cried since. I've been dead inside since because of that movie. And to see him on the big screen again was just majestic. It was like rebirthing my childhood all over again without all of the placenta fluids. This movie takes its time to set up everything as you watch Godzilla go across the country chasing another monster just because he can. People may be disappointed because there aren't a lot of fights in this movie, and they might be expecting something akin to Pacific Rim. However, fear not, people. Just wait till the end, and you will get your fight, and you will be holding back tears. You will be laughing, you will be crying, and you will be in awe. The fighting wasn't stylized, it was more realistic and brutal. But it was about as realistic as a giant radioactive lizard fighting prehistoric moths would be. There were some great moments in there that your inner child will really like, but for the most part it was realistic. Just remember, Godzilla is an anti-hero. He probably killed tens of thousands of people on his way to kill the 2 other monsters. The monsters in this movie were cool, but we were a little disappointed not to see some of the old villains that Godzilla used to fight. This movie was great. Go see it. Grab your parents, grab your friends, grab their parents, hide your wife, hide your children. Everybody go see this movie. We categorize this movie as entertainment. Now, this wasn't an easy choice, but this is the one that we eventually went with. We also rated this movie at 3 stars out of 3, or 3 big-ass monsters. We had no complaints about this movie. It was super fun, but we did have one complaint. You could have used the Godzilla song from Blue Oyster Cult. Why didn't you use that song? That would have been great in this movie. We almost gave you 1 star for that, but we're gonna be nice. Did you see the movie? Did you like it? Did you agree with us or not? Leave a comment in the section below. And our question for you this week is, there are a lot of monsters in the pantheon of Godzilla movies. What would you like to see in one of the next Godzilla movies? I personally would like to see King Ghidorah or Gigan. Anyways, we'll see you next time.